Hello everybody and welcome to your hot edition of Marvel Contest of Champions News, the MCN, a collection of Marvel Contest of Champions information and news applicable to things happening in the world of this game by the same name. It's very hot as well because of the UK, and it's very hot with the topics we're going to be discussing today. So first of all, for those that have been living under a box for the last month or several weeks, you'll know that today is going to be massive load of content dump, and you have to adjust into preparation what you're going to choose and content you're going to grind on day one, kind of a day. And yes, in this particular day, we're going to see Statcasts Relics, and we'll be talking all things that. There's been a review of that on the channel. Rebirth event drops today as well. We're also going to see the mini Crucible and the bigger Crucible drop today. And there's going to be something else which I completely forgot. Oh yes, it's going to be, I think, the final day of the Future Foundation event. So, and then there might be more. We'll be finding out what the Battle Realm pings are. More other stuff. I mean, it's going to be exciting. It's just there's a lot of things to cover in a very short space of time. So people are going to look for as much information as possible. And I'll try to be focusing right off the bat on Statcast Relics, the acquisition methods, the pain points, and also the Rebirth event, which if you miss out on any kind of the days, it does have a bearing and impact. Selectors being important, but also those special Rebirth crystals, which we'll talk about later today. Quickly talking about the Trello board and things that Kabam have been working on. They're working on many things at the moment to fix. Yes, it's never going to be all of the things, but at least they're doing some stuff. The things under investigation as of last week, because Kabam always post a week, like later on of what they're doing. Mixed master nodes attempting to trigger evade even during defender special attacks. Several nodes in Alliance War nodes are set up incorrectly. If the node effects fail due to ability accuracy, abilities that detect the failure will not trigger. Not particularly good. And also something in development, which is interesting, is identified multiple old mismatches between Moon Knight's info page and in-fight effects. Now, is that something gearing up to the Mr. Knight launch coming soon? Maybe it's not. Maybe there could be a sneaky little special synergy in there. We don't know yet, but it's interesting to find out what the future is. Let's move on to the topic of Mysterium. You can see right now there is the Future Foundation event that is going on at the moment. And of course, it's a source of Mysterium. Mysterium can be found in various pieces of things that Kabam drop. And there's always this big question about like the rewards that you get from Mysterium Traders Outpost, the volume of Mysterium you get on a regular basis, and something I think we did a name. I can't remember if we covered this on Monday's MCN, but there was something that that Kabamasaurus Rex, Karate Mike, did say about, and feedback was given. I can't remember if we ran this as a topic in Monday's MCN. We may not have, but there's been some like future kind of future responses to this thread when it comes to kind of Mysterium. I'm always on the fence with it, with what Mysterium does. Radiance has now superseded it, and amalgamating the currencies has definitely been something I've been looking forward to. The volume of it on a weekly basis, again, that's something that's important, and having a budget, especially with the fact that we need Mysterium once a month to inject into whatever saga base chase is on. And of course, for this month, it is this right here, which is the research grants in order to get a particular champion. And I'm always very specific with my Mysterium, what it goes into, what I can get back as a result. And as the time goes on, depending on your progression, it's either going to be seen as good value or kind of not good value, but good for your progression, or it's just going to be blasé and remain the same, which, let's face it, it has actually remained blasé and remained the same on this. Definitely some responses here. Easy solution, scrap Traders Outpost and give proper amount of radiance, simplify the currencies as promised. When I say proper, I really mean reasonable small amount for the effort, but that's at least a simpler store that won't be botched with bundles of items thrown together. And of course, whatever you feel about Traders Outpost, it's up to you. And of course, Kabamasaurus Rex says Radiance is competitive currency. It will not replace Mysterium. We also never promised to simplify all other currencies. We said that if Radiance is successful, we'd look into doing the same with engagement-based currencies. I'll have to revisit back that live stream just to kind of like 100% clarify that particular segment or what. But then that's like Kabam saying that loyalty and glory would be amalgamated into that because it's those are classified as engagement based currencies or competitive. The same thing with trophy tokens. Like, will trophy tokens then go in as being an absorption, because then that's 3 currencies and it's already getting a bit kind of like crazy with it. Maybe Mysterium wasn't promised within there, but it would have been nice to see some change with it, or have the rewards potential just be put into stuff and then do away with Mysterium. It depends how people are liking it or not liking it. As I said above, I'll poke the Mysterium issue again after the weekend and try bring forth a solution. I'm not going to promise a fix or a change because, as we see here, the slightest suggestion of something will taken as a promise. I'll bring it back to the team again and try and make a change. Changes don't happen overnight. I mean, we know that, fix Mysterium. Like, we know that it's a miracle worker. Remember, Kabam community managers are basically those telehandlers. They're the telephone people. It's like they're taking what you say, your frustrations, and they're just sending it back down the chain. That's kind of theoretically it. They're not responsible for those changes at game team level. So we'll have to see with that. I did design the side quest. I did not design the side quest this month, so I cannot explain the design choice to you, but I can tell you the objective were engagement based, not rank based. It was asking you to defeat opponents in different modes. You didn't need to win anything in terms of like talking about these side quests. And of course, whatever, you like about it or not like about what we showed you with the Future Foundation, again, it's up to you. Like, you're open to your own opinion on things you like and dislike in the World of Marvel Contest of Champions. But here's hoping that in the future we'll see something more interesting with how we get Mysterium, or Mysterium rewards going to something else. If you're not a fan of Mysterium, I'm still on the fence with it, but I'm down the lane of I don't really kind of like it after a length of time, and maybe the rewards are better kind of injected into other things. Is it time to end Mysterium? That's a comment. That's a question for the comment section. Now let's talk about the weekly Alliance Super event. This is still something that's drawing a lot of communication, comparisons, and complaints as well at the same time. And again, same thing with the previous coverage, or previous story. You're entitled to like or dislike, or whatever you like or dislike, with your own commentary about what you think is good or bad about it. It's up to Kabam to go whether or not they think that it's going to be good overall. I've definitely seen some people say that they don't like the idea of having a daily quest to go to, but this is I don't know if this is something that Kabam are trying to, I think I said like previously, increase the engagement in certain areas for people and where they can go for certain things. So whether this is going to work long term or people like it or don't, then that's going to be applicable to stuff like, well, where's the missing stuff? And is the missing stuff going into daily quests? In yesterday's video, on Monday's video, we surmised that was the logical place that Kabam would put those rewards. And that seems to be very much the case. We've got a confirmation here by Kabamasaurus Rex saying, hey folks, so a lot of the stuff we're talking about here, plus more, is going to be present in the daily quest update, Alliance Potions Boost, etc. Correct me if you're saying otherwise, but aside from that, the only thing that seems to be missing are energy refills. Correct. Everything else has had its potency bumped up by quite a bit. And yes, that is actually correct. The potency of these things have gone up, but it's the missing out. I think we did say in Monday's video, like, if those energy refills are missing, should they be compensated to the community? That may be the way to go with it, as you're waiting nearly a month, I want to say, until you'll be able to, number one, start getting the units again, which is, missing out of the health potions and not health potions, the boosts, and well, maybe some of the health potions as well, boosts, and the other stuff that's within there, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a few things that are missing from that are going into the quest starting in September. But of course, the main point about this is that what Kabam were doing were moving it, but they weren't buffing it. And that, I guess, is the biggest takeaway from this particular new event. So what we see right here with the new event, yes, bright, shiny, new event. great. The volume of things, or the progression potency of things, is where I think there's a little bit of discussion on it. We're definitely seeing that maybe it's not exactly ticking boxes for players, and of course, that's slightly disappointing at this stage. Gives you something extra to do on a daily basis. Yeah. Do you want to do that on a daily basis? Probably not. But each to their own, I guess, with it. I need something to auto fight through in order to get things done for, say, the daily super event, whilst I do other things. It depends from a casual player's perspective what they like, and maybe from a non-casual player's perspective what they like or dislike about it. And this is where I think the divide is going to be between, if you've got stuff to do and you're earning stuff on the same time, then that's great. But if you're feeling more forced to play more MCOC or kind of like more quests, then that does put things between a rock and a hard place of what you're happy about doing, you're doing along the way, so it doesn't really impact you, and stuff that you're just not really interested in doing at all. And it's that, again, the issue that Kabam will always experience going into this year and the future of the game is what is going to be quality of life when it comes to MCOC, interest and engagement of bringing you and keeping you in game for a larger length of time, and especially that divide between saving time and spending and non-spending time, and ramping up grind, and that punishes free to play, and of course collecting stuff along the way. So there's a lot of fine balances Kabam have to do in order to appease the community. So maybe this won't work in the long run. We'll have to see how this quest lands next month with the player base, and of course those missing rewards. Do you think that you're frustrated about these, or do you feel like you're missing those things like energy refills and stuff, and should we be compensated? Well, there is a very good shout for that at this moment in time. And now we're going to end the show with something that seems to be rearing its head. Well, I'd say we're now done what we did Friday MCN mention is. No, Friday video, Monday MCN doing a follow-up. And this may be the final video covering things around the ban. So remember the bans went out last week. It all kind of came into conjunction after maybe the Alliance War season, but also after the Battlegrounds season as well. Those two things were very much kind of like concluded last week. But there's definitely been a lot of players that have been asking questions about their bans. His player here saying, I've been a loyal player for MCC for 2 years, and my account holds countless memories, hard work, and dedication. I understand that there's been a violation associated with my account, but I assure you that if any mistake happened, it was never intentional. This game has been, that's kind of like admitting that right there. The game has been a part of my life. Losing my account feels like losing a part of me. I fully respect the rules in the community, and I promise I always follow them strictly in the future. I am humbly requesting one last chance to prove my loyalty and fair play. I know the support team has stated the decision is final, but I'm hoping the post can reach someone. Honestly, I've fair play to anybody, to this person. It's not they're not really saying that they apologize. They're not saying I'm sorry. It's kind of like, well, yeah, it's kind of like saying that they did the thing, but there's no kind of like definitive I apologize or I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, and that's what we're kind of getting a lot. It's either the people like will not admit they're wrong, and that just seems like a weird trait. Maybe it's like a thing with people, like they just don't really want to say I'm sorry. Like, it's people don't do that nowadays. It's just like, man, just show a little bit of like, be a bit humble, like say you're sorry. But fair play to this person at least trying to do that, but I don't think Kabam are ever going to give back accounts to these people. I think more so if you add into like the context of the matter. Now there was like a thread on the forums where there's a little bit more details with some people that live streamed and were literally live streaming instances of them actually doing the thing that they are not meant to be doing as part of their terms, as part of the terms of service. It was kind of like weird to see that. And of course, see people give like a detailed kind of overview of it. And Kabamasaurus Rex kind of like finishes this off by saying, it's against terms of service for others to log into your account for any reason. Hard stop. If you play on the your own account and don't let others log into it, you won't get banned. First of all, it's against the rules. But secondly, you never know what they're going to do on your account. This is why, and I keep saying to you, for those that use certain services, right, and listen to this, the people you give your account to that provide certain services, if they say they're going to do a piece of content on your account and they do it within an hour and you go, that's amazing, wow, you're super skilled, but the content really will take 10 hours to do and you don't suspect anything, you deserve your account to be taken away from you. You really do, because that is just silly. People just don't think. They really don't when it comes to situations like this. Anyway, frankly, the support team does not need to require full transparency on bans, and of course they won't do that because people want to argue the fact that they broke the rules. There are situations where that's not the case, and of course these bans need to be gone over once, twice, thrice, maybe even 4 or 5 times to 100% guarantee that they've caught the person red-handed. And also, the support team is not help you reverse accidental rank ups, thus not reverse bans. As I've said a few times in the past week, it is very easy for us to tell when someone else is logging into your account for any reason. I'll leave it there. And that should be a forewarning to anybody. You know, this last time we're going to mention it on the MCN, unless something, you know, changes with the subject, like Kabam turned out to be wrong, blah, 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 blah. But Kabam have said these are kind of like finals, so it is what it is. And that's going to conclude the MCN today. I'll see you later on. We're going to be covering stat relics. We're going to be also covering Rebirth event and some things associated with that. So look forward to covering some stuff for you before we do some Crucible guides and other stuff like that. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Much love and goodbye.